Hi, I have some questions from Mom Mary, and now I'm going to ask her to you. First, how closely do you follow the news? Not too close, but I usually follow the news through social media or through telling stories with my parents. And sometimes I follow the news through watching television, but I rarely watch television. I say that I'm not too close following the news because as we know that not all news is spread to social media, and of course my parents don't always follow the news. Usually the most accurate news is on television and newspapers. But I rarely watch television and I almost never read newspapers. Second, which media, emerging television, newspaper, online, cover the news best? In my opinion, the best media for covering news are television and newspapers, not online. The only news that we read is not always true, especially news that is spread on social media. It could be a hoax because the truth and the source are not known. An example of a case in Indonesia is justice for Audrey. Many Indonesians defended and even gave donation to victim who was said to have serious injuries, but it was just a lie. An Indonesian online news. Now there is a lot of news that's not important for the public. For example, I ever saw news that contained an artist who had just become a mother didn't sleep in order to take care of her child. We know that all mothers in the world do the same. And in my opinion, the most accurate news is on television and newspapers because the news on television and newspapers is obtained from the results of observations and interviews that are directly carried out at the scene. Third, what will news media be like in the future? I think the news media in the future will be the same as now. Fourth, why do people choose to live in cities? Because in the city the facilities are more complete than countryside. The examples are signals and medical equipment. In the countryside, it will be difficult to get a signal and the medical equipment is not complete. Whereas now we really need a signal, especially for schools, and also with complete medical equipment can help to save people's life. Fifth, what are the disadvantages of city life compared to living in the countryside? In the city, the population is very dense, so the congestion often occurs. The congestion that occurs causes a lot of people to be tired and also causes a lot of pollution. If we inhale too much pollution, it can have a bad impact for health. While in the countryside, the population and vehicles are not too much. There are also many plants, so there is not too much pollution. Sixth, which do you prefer? I prefer to live in the city. Seventh, how do we affect nature, emerging rainforests? We often destroy and pollute nature. For example, we often do illegal logging and littering. This can cause deforested forests and animals lose their houses, and this can cause flooding. How does nature affect us? Emerging floods. Being in nature or even viewing scenes of nature reduce anger, fear, and stress, and increases pleasant feelings. Nature can also make our lives longer by absorbing existing pollution and producing healthy food. However, natural disasters can pollute and damage our facilities. 9th, will problems such as pollution or endangered species ever be solved? I think it will be solved. Pollution can be reduced if people really use private vehicles and often use public transportations such as bus. Pollution also can be reduced if we plant a lot of trees. Species will not be endangered if people who do poaching on endangered species are given appropriate punishment. 10th, do you often mix with people from a different culture to yours? Yes, I often do that. Do you like or dislike this? Like this. What are the benefits and problems of a multicultural society? The benefits are we can know what the differences are from each culture, and also we can learn to respect each other. And the problems are not everyone can accept cultural differences. This can lead to clashes between cultures.